dropping everything. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? This is Twin Flames Unite. We are at it again. We're gonna give it a few moments to make sure we get some people in the building.
We're gonna just play some music, some really good music from YouTube.
Yeah, it's YouTube music, so they ain't gonna shut us down because we're using some music that's not approved by YouTube.
Yeah, we don't want to get shut down, so we're just gonna let some people check in. But anyway,
Yep. And if y'all can hear us, give us a hello. Let us know that it's coming through.
Hey Joshua, hi. Thank you for joining. You guys excited?
We already got one person on the line,
Yeah.
so that is beautiful.
The number is in the description, right?
Yes, the number is in the description. Yes.
So go on and chime in.
Let me do something here because it's
Somebody, hello there. Oh, look what I have, guys. I have a twin flame. I think this is obsidian crystal. It is so cute because it has two hearts. I don't know if you guys can see it. It has two hearts, and you see it's got like white stuff in the middle, and you can see the heart. This is for twin flame. Isn't that so cute? And then I got a moonstone. I always keep crystals. I love crystals. Yeah, but this is a really, really nice, I think this is an obsidian. But it's heart-shaped and it's like a twin. See?
So if y'all can hear us, let us know. Just hit yes.
I gotta put this down here. It is so beautiful. And then I put it to charge under the moon and it's like super bright now. Wow. Yeah. What is this? Is this obsidian? I think this is obsidian. Yeah. Ooh, it's beautiful. Ooh, it's shining a lot.
All right.
Hi, Teresa.
Teresa in the building. There we go.
What it do? And if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. And please.
Now it's Chris and Leisha.
Did somebody say Talisha? Okay, y'all so funny. But it's all good. But yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome to our channel. Welcome, lots of love to you. And if you haven't subscribed, we're going to invite you to go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And make sure you turn on the notifications so you can know when we're going live and when we're putting out our Twin Flame Chronicles. Because we're done with the what is this, episode 3?
Yes.
We're just about done. 3. And it's really good. You guys are going to like this one. It is fire. So we're going to put that out tomorrow.
We'll be done with the audio for it tomorrow. If we get it done early enough, we'll be able to premiere it by Saturday night.
Saturday night about what, 8 o'clock? 7 o'clock? 8 o'clock?
We'll shoot for 7.
7? Yeah. So
7
yeah, but
Central
this
Standard
one
Time.
is nice. You're gonna like this one. So we've been working on that since Monday. It takes time because you have to come up with the content, the creative content. So we want it to be interesting. We want it to have lessons, and we want you guys to laugh. So we have to put some goodness into it. So it takes some time for us to come up with like 10 minutes.
Yes. And so we're gonna jump right into it. We give y'all enough time to get people to jump in. In just a moment, I'm going to post the phone number in the chat so that you all can see it, so that you all will be able to call in. We already got one person that's waiting.
Yes.
We greatly appreciate them for jumping in. Got another person that just joined in, so we're gonna get this on and popping.
Welcome.
So tonight is you all's opportunity to talk with us, Chris and Leisha, two twins that are in union. So just some ground rules here for for the calls. We're going to try to keep it within 5 minutes per person, just so that we can have some opportunities to get as many people in as possible. The number to call if you're in the United States is 1-256 952-9015, and then just hit access code 483320. Okay?
Yeah.
And
He's a tech guy.
yeah, I try. So I'm just going to type the number in the chat so that if y'all don't see it, you'll be able to see it and call.
Yeah. Chris is really good with all this technical stuff. So all the things that you guys see in the video, all the words and everything, that's Chris.
Oh, yeah. By the way, if y'all like the intro that I did, that new intro, which you're going to see it on the Twin Flame Chronicles when we post that, let me know if y'all like that or not. It's just, just a little something.
Yeah, he did it. He's very creative. So, and our shirts, he did our shirts too. Could you guys see our shirts? This is our official Twin Flame shirts. Chris designed it. So he's really good at designing stuff and drawing and creating, making websites and stuff. He's good. Can we show our shirt so they can see our Twin Flame shirt?
Just stand up, baby.
I can't. I don't got much at the bottom area.
Boom. We already got a few people who actually went in and bought theirs.
Yes.
If y'all like the crystals too, got them on deck. But yeah, all of this stuff is on thirdeyeapparel.com. Yeah. If you all want to book a longer session with us, you can go to that website as well and book a session with us. So, without further ado, because we had this one person that's already been on here, I think, since like...
about 10 minutes now?
Yeah, about 10 minutes. So we ain't going to have them waiting too much longer. All right? So we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump into this. Let me make sure. Yeah. And for everybody who's on here, once again, if y'all can send a yes, let us know if the feed's coming through. Yeah. The audio, just hit yes if everything's clear so that we can go and get everything going, okay?
Yes. Give us a thumbs up if you guys can hear, if it's clear, audio is good.
All right. So we're going to jump right into the first caller. Awesome. Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, guys.
Yes. So we are, the first caller is going to be the one ending in 6773. You are on right now. Can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you guys. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. Doing wonderful. And what's your name?
It's Latrell.
Latrell.
Oh,
okay.
That's pretty.
All right, Latrell.
Yes, I'm from Atlanta. Hi.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for calling in. And so what's going on? You got Chris and Leisha for about 5 minutes.
We right here live.
Okay, well, I just want to say that I've watched you guys' videos, so I'm kind of like new to the whole twin flame thing. So I want to say awesome there. I guess the question I have that with the whole twin flame is, how can you guys tell, and I'm sure you guys both probably went through it, like a dark twin to like your true twin? Because I guess I'm just curious as far as like what is the main difference that'll stick out.
Okay. Well, there's actually one video that we did about the dark twin or false twin. And to be honest with you, I know Leisha and I kind of went through it. When we look back at our previous relationships, it's obviously something that was an issue. But I guess one of the main signs, and at least I guess you can correct me if I'm wrong on this.
You're not gonna be wrong.
But one of the main signs is that they drain your energy.
That's one of the major signs.
Yeah, because if they're draining your energy and they're taking away from what you're doing, if they're not really helping you become your greatest version, more than likely they're trying to bring attention to that situation so that you can correct it.
Right. And it might just be a matter of somebody who's coming to teach you a lesson. So you want to definitely pay attention to the lesson that they're bringing. Some people come into our lives for a short period of time to teach us a specific lesson. And so if you pay attention to the lesson and you listen to your intuition, then you don't get caught up in that wheel of karma with the karmic, being with somebody for 10 years, in 5 years, when it's only meant to be 2 weeks or a month for you to get that lesson. So you don't want to take you that long to grasp the lesson that that person is there to bring you.
Right. That's it. Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And also getting in touch and getting in tune with the essence of who you are, your higher self, your oversoul, your intuition. Once you start like getting in touch with who you are, then things start becoming a lot clearer. Because Chris and I used to struggle all the time. Like, we used to be confused. We didn't know, and people would take advantage of us.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that changed. That shifted a lot because we did a lot of soul work, a lot of integration. We had a few cocoon phases, as I like to call it. Dark night of the soul. People like to call it that, when you're shedding, letting go, like renewal. And I think we'll always have those phases in our life because we're always going to be constantly growing, no matter what. But the more integration that you do with yourself, the more soul work that you do with yourself, as far as accepting parts about yourself that you don't really like in other aspects of yourselves that you love, and you do the integration and you accept it. Knowing who your twin is becomes clearer to you because your twin is essentially you. So if you're learning who you are, then you will know who your twin is, if that makes sense. It won't be a doubt in your mind. It would not be a doubt in your mind.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She's so
Yeah.
I'm okay.
And once again, you said it was Latrell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Latrell, we definitely hope that information was helpful for you, as far as understanding or knowing for sure who your twin is and whether or not it is your twin or if it's a false twin, some people would say.
Yeah, but it's more like false twin is just a little terminology they put on it. It's really just karmic, a karmic relationship that's coming to teach you something or to awaken something inside of you. And that's what their purpose is. It's just for us to recognize it when we see it.
Yep.
Okay. That makes sense.
Awesome. All right. Well, we got a few more people that jumped in, so we got a couple other people behind you. But that answers your question, though?
Yes, it did. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're
welcome. So welcome. So welcome. Well, we love you, and you have a wonderful evening, okay?
You too. Thank you.
All right. Much love and light to you.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
You're welcome.
All right. Make sure that's muted. There we go.
All right. And who do we have now?
All right. So our next caller, so once again, for those who are not aware, that the phone number to call in is 256-952-9015. Access code is 483320.
And it's also in the chat. So if you look in the chat, and it's in the chat.
All right. So we got our next caller that is waiting. Number ending in 2663. You are unmuted. Are you with us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Masculine.
There we go.
Hey.
Hey, how's everything going?
So my name is Joshua Sanchez. I was
Josh.
born and raised in San Antonio, Texas, and I had my spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening in 2016 after partaking in ayahuasca.
Oh, yeah. That's natural.
So my main question that I had that's on my mind is that I'm a crystal healing practitioner, so I am very attracted to crystals, and I love to work with moldavite. And so I know who my twin flame is. I have dreams about my twin flame. My question is, how important, what are you doing every single day in order to get to union? What were you doing before you got into union? What were you doing every single day?
Well, Chris, you can go and I'll go because we weren't together, so we'll tell you what we did separate.
Pretty much what happened is we weren't looking for union. To be honest, I had just got out of a marriage, and actually I tried to date, but it wasn't working out. So I got to a point that I said, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna work on me, and I'm gonna get my business and stuff together because I had started getting stuff together to be a personal trainer. Um, and I just really focused on me. But something happened um, right around October where I went through my dark night of the soul, and it really sent me into a downward spiral. And when I got into the downward spiral, I realized that I didn't want to stay in that place because in that place, it's like I didn't want to exist on this earth anymore.
Oh yeah.
So I had to ask myself, what, well, excuse me, let me back up. If nothing changed in my situation, what would I need in order to continue? Or what could I do in order to continue? And the answer that came to me was to love myself. Once I made the decision to really love myself, then things started to turn around. I started having an upward spiral, and I was just really working on me. And I got to the point to where I was happy with just myself, was happy with what I was doing, and then once I got to that point, about a month later, I run into Leisha. So.
And it's funny because I was doing the same thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I was single for some time because I was in a really bad relationship. I tried dating and didn't really go so well. And I got to a point where I felt like I didn't really want to be on this planet myself. I was ready to check out. Like, I'm like, this is too much for me. And like Chris said, it took me really starting to love myself again. And it's funny that you said you're a crystal lover because I think I'm the biggest crystal lover in the world. Like I dream about crystals.
I mean, she had a crystal plug.
Me too. Me too.
I mean,
Moldavite, especially.
Moldavite.
I keep my Moldavite.
There's this Moldavite right there. I have mine. I keep mine with me physically, but I don't wear it because I need to get a new string for it. But yeah, Moldavite is a transformative stone. Very, very good stone.
Yes.
When you're trying to move from one phase of your life to the next, it will definitely assist you with that. But yeah, so I went through my dark night of the soul where I really did not want to be here anymore. And it really took like a friend to help me. I had help sent to me. And she, bless her soul, because she said that we met. It was funny because she said that the only reason why she met me was, it was specific. She said, I'm here to help you. And I'm like, well, who are you? And I was feeling so weird, but she came to really assist me in that time. And she said, you know what? You need to go and get you a rose quartz crystal and keep it with you. And that's when I started getting into crystals because I knew about crystals, but I didn't really understand how to work with crystals. And so after I got the rose quartz crystal, that's really what assisted me in starting to love myself again.
Yeah.
And so it got to a point now where I was really feeling myself. And I'm like, started going on dates, taking myself on dates, reading a lot. I was reading a lot, and I did a lot of, I watch a lot of documentaries on Gaia.com. Like, that's really what started stirring my wheels. I would look at Gaia, like, every single day. And then it came to the point where I started seeing all these numbers. I know 9/11 was the one that almost drove me halfway mad because I didn't understand and why I was seeing all these numbers. I started running from the numbers, and I still seen the numbers. I tried, I really did, but it was always there. So then one day I sat at my desk. And this is when I was working, and I actually was guided to write down my plan, like what I wanted to do. So I wrote down that I'm going to write a book, which is A Moth is Also a Butterfly, which I wrote, and it's on Amazon. I started up my nonprofit, and I took all the steps to start my nonprofit, which I did. So it's like all of this stuff that I went through, it was actually triggering me and pushing me into a different direction. So I used that pain as a catalyst to grow.
Yes.
And so by the time I started loving myself and I started seeing all the stuff that I'm getting accomplished, I was on a different wavelength, a different vibration. And, that's after that, that's when I met Chris. And so when I met him, it's like the two of us was kind of on the same page almost, because we already, went through what we had to went through, but we did it separate, not together. So when we came together now, it was very harmonious.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the reasons why our relationship is as harmonious as it is right now, because Chris went through a lot, dealing with himself. He did.
That's an understatement.
And transforming himself, and I did the same thing. I had to do a lot of transformation. I had to accept a lot of things about myself, and the biggest thing that really held me back was me being molested as a child. I never got a chance to really. I shrugged it on the rug and didn't want to deal with it at all. Then I had to go to therapy, realizing that it's affecting me, and it's morphing into different ways in my life and causing different behaviors. And after I did all that work, we came together. Yeah. See, most people, most twin flames, and then everybody's situation is different. Everybody's journey is going to be different. But for most twin flames that come together and it's not ready yet, it's like kind of like a clash. So that's what causes a lot of separation and running and chasing phases in the twin flame, because it's they haven't really dealt with their unresolved issues. So it's like a clash that takes place.
Yep. So Josh, does that answer your question?
Yeah. I just have one quick question. Is how much meditation do you do daily?
Well, that's kind of hard to really calculate at this moment, because it's actually gotten to a point, because we started out meditating at least once a day for about 10-15 minutes, and then we started increasing it, doing hour sessions, but then it's gotten to a point now where we can meditate at will. Even while we're driving it, because meditating is really being present.
Yes.
You have to be present in the moment. When you're present in the moment, then you're able to really open yourself up to everything that's around you. So as far as doing it throughout the day, I mean, there's so many hours throughout the day now that we just meditate.
Yeah, and
really
then
present.
When we go into sleep, like we're doing dream work now.
Oh.
So our dreams are like
that's a whole nother
really,
level.
I feel the dream work. I definitely do a lot of work in my dreams.
Yeah, exactly. I think right now we're more. Well, the energy for us is, for me, I feel like it's more focused on the dream aspect of things now. That's where we're kind of headed into. Because
a lot of work, a lot of missions.
A lot.
Yes.
A lot. Chris and I have dreams. Sometimes it comes together.
Yeah.
So, like, he'll see the beginning of one aspect, and I'll get to see the end, or vice versa. Sometimes we even in the same dream.
Yeah.
So, so that's where we're at right now. As far as meditation, like I've noticed that my meditation has gotten where it's to a whole nother level, and I know Chris's too. And this happened on 11/11, because I told a story already of what happened on 11/11. Yeah. So I find myself, jumping on board with the energy and doing a meditation on 11/11 at 11:11 a.m. in the morning. And I mean, I guess I took it for granted, but something really did shift when I did that meditation. And that's actually how I was able to manifest certain things that I'm now experiencing, which I'm grateful for. But I was actually taught how.
You jump timelines.
Yeah, we did.
But I don't know who all is here and how. I'm trying to talk so everybody could understand.
Definitely jump timelines. And if y'all know about timelines, hit it in the messages. Let us know, so we're not saying anything that's going over anybody's head.
I don't know who's here, who's listening, but there you go. But ever since that day when that meditation was done, things have definitely shifted like 1,000%.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question, Josh. But
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's pretty much that we've gotten to a point where meditation is something that we do probably 80% of the time a day.
We do a lot. Like meditation now is something that's necessary.
Yeah.
It's not even something that we plan to do. It's just something that's very necessary.
Yeah. All right. Well, Josh, we appreciate you coming through with the male energy.
Yes, love it, love it, love it.
All right, so well, you have a wonderful, you have a wonderful evening. Okay.
Bye, y'all too.
All right.
All right.
Much love.
Awesome.
I'm loving it,
right.
loving it, loving it.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the next caller. Caller ending in 9021. You are on with us. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Oh my God, I love y'all. I'm from Panama City, Florida, representing.
What's your
Yes,
name
y'all
again?
can. Yes, I've been watching all y'all videos, and I freaked out when y'all was in Panama City, Florida Beach. Oh my God, yes. Hi, I'm Kanisha. I love y'all. I feel like y'all are my soul brothers and sisters for real.
Oh, much
It's
love.
like
So much
scary.
love to you.
Oh.
But I know it's real.
Yes.
Okay, real quick. Okay, so in the process of my spiritual awakening, I just noticed, like we just revealed, that we're twin flames more than soulmates. Me and my ex-husband, we've been off and on for 10 years. Today is 10 years. We have a son. So long story short, I'm trying to heal family issues on my behalf, and he's healing his family issues. And so I'm trying to keep it high vibration, and his energy is so low. I'm 30 and he's 56. So he's been hurting some past, and he's still holding on. So I'm asking, what can I do to stay encouraged and to encourage him to keep our union growing and to better ourselves for me and him and our son. So I need y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much. It sounds to me like you're doing what needs to be done. Like you're doing your work and he's doing his work. It sounds to me like it's just a matter of having the patience. And not like giving up. Just keep at it, because this journey sometimes it could be it could test you, and sometimes you really do want to give up. I'm not even gonna sit here and try to act like it's always love and light, right, baby?
Sometimes we feel like I'm done.
Right.
Take me out of here. Where's my spaceship? Come get me.
But Kanisha, let me ask you this, because you say it's your ex-husband. How is you all's relationship now?
It is it's horrible. He's on his way back from Pennsylvania. That's where he's originally from. Like I said, I'm from Panama City. Represent.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like we're destined, because like I said, we met, and he just, like I said, he just cut off ties with his ex baby mother. So he finally went back to her, I guess, to see if things were gonna reunite with her. I guess he was trying to find love in all the wrong places. But I'm his friend. Like I said, we started with best friends. We've been together off and on 10 years. I'm his best friend, and I'm loyal. I love him, and I know he loves me. But I guess I just let him go. I did look at y'all videos and saying, like, let it go and just work on myself, which I have. And I'm glad he's coming back. I'm excited. He's on the bus. I'm praying for him. Safe trip. And so I'm so excited. So when he look at this, maybe you can give him some advice when he comes home in a couple hours. But he cut ties with his ex now. But so it's kind of chaotic right now. But I'm just asking my spirit angels to keep us covered through this madness. But any advice? Because he's really kind of skeptical about this. But I'm trying to have him be optimistic about this twin flame and us being more knowledgeable about it.
Okay. Well, the advice that
I love y'all.
We love you too.
We love you too.
Thank you.
The advice that I would give on this is the main thing is not forgetting about loving yourself. The way that you're going to help him is by setting healthy boundaries, because it seems like there's a lot of things that were going on, a lot of lines that were crossed. You have to make sure that he understands that those lines cannot be crossed. Especially with the age gap, he should know better. I mean, I'm just saying. But you definitely have to stand your ground, twin flame or not, because if, Leisha does something out of line,
Okay.
I'm gonna let her know.
He does.
And if I do something out of line, she lets me know.
I do.
You know, and that's the way.
Okay, so how do I do? Okay, so how do I do that in a like being constructive criticism in a positive direction without it being me so frustrated and angry? Like, oh, I'm sorry.
The best thing to do is to bring it up when you all are not upset. Because when you're
okay,
right. Because when you bring it up when you're upset, anything can happen.
It's not going to come out the way that you wish for it to.
No.
And this is what I learned from Chris, because Chris has tons and tons of patience. Like, he's literally Job's son in the Bible. This is how I call him. And I had absolutely no patience. And Chris has actually taught me. So it's like we're balancing each other out. And with that being said, I'm learning how to talk to people and how to meet them where they're at. So sometimes in order to really help someone efficiently, you have to meet them, be willing to meet them where they're at. And, you know, with compassion and with love. And when you give off that vibration of compassion and love, and they see that you're really trying to meet them and you're really trying to help them, the whole conversation will be morphed into like an assistance type of vibe instead of like I'm telling you type of vibe. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes. Thank you.
That's what Chris has taught me how to do, and it works.
Yeah, but definitely be
patient.
Thank
you so much.
And the last thing before we let you go is to remember to love him unconditionally.
Yes.
That was one thing that the spirit guides told Leisha before I came.
Yeah, they did.
Because I don't know if she actually told the story.
I don't think I would tell anybody.
But before I came into the picture, she asked the spirit guides to go ahead and send whoever they're going to send. And I was like, okay, if you're ready, you have to love him. You have to love him unconditionally. Because I'm so glad that they said that, because there's sometimes I'm not perfect.
I'm glad they said that too. I had this
challenging.
Yeah, I used to meditate in this place. It was 3 trees, and I would go there every day, and I would put my crystals out there, and I'll have my sage, and I would meditate. And I used to have back then I used to smoke my Black and Mild. So every time I go there, I have my Black and Mild, and I feel bad. And I'm like, listen, I'm coming as I am. I'm meditating, so y'all don't judge me.
Right, that's what I'm smoking right now, looking at y'all, K-Flat.
I'm like, don't judge me.
Out of my city, represent.
I'm like, listen, if y'all want me to stop, y'all gonna find a nice way to make me stop. I was like, don't try to make me sick and none of that stuff. I'm not with it. Just find a nice way to make me stop.
Oh my God, y'all my brothers and sisters.
And so I was like, okay, I'm ready, because I've done all my work. You know, I'm like, I'm fine by myself. I'm happy by myself. But you know what? I'm ready. If you're ready to send me somebody, I'm ready to receive them. Yeah. And then they said, are you sure? And I'm like, well, of course I'm sure. What do you mean if I'm sure? I'm sure. And so they was like, okay, but you have to love him. And I got in my feelings. I'm like, what you mean I gotta love him? Of course. Why wouldn't I? Yes, and the you know, it was the feeling that I got was like, you have to love him unconditionally, and we're gonna send
unconditional.
him. Yeah. And so the feeling I got was like, okay, we're gonna send him, but you have to remember to love him unconditionally. And I'm like, okay. But I kind of felt like, you know, what do you mean? Like, of course I'm going to love him.
Right.
But I see why that message came before I met Chris. And it was just some things were challenging, because Chris was so nice, like so nice that it would be to a point where people would try to take advantage of him. Yeah. And I used to try to show it to him, but then, you know, he didn't want to see the worst in people. He always wants to see the best in people.
It's the Pisces.
That's me,
It's the
so
Pisces.
I'm like, can't you see what they're doing? But but now it's different, because now he's learning how to love. He has learned how to love himself and accept himself 100%. And now we both have healthy boundaries for ourselves, so we don't have to, you know, deal with that anymore.
Yep. All right.
Okay, well, y'all have a good night. I love y'all. I'm going to keep watching.
Love you too.
All right,
night.
Thank you. You have a wonderful
Okay,
night.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right. Awesome.
Awesome.
And by the way, we will be back in Panama City pretty soon this summer. So
we will.
Yep. All right, but
Hopefully next month.
we're gonna move on to the next caller. We appreciate y'all for waiting.
Guys are so awesome.
This time, caller ending in 8372. You are on the line with us. Can you hear us?
Could you hear us?
Oh, yeah, I can. I'm just listening. I didn't want to ask anything.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm sorry. What's your name though?
She said she just want to listen. It's okay. That's fine. Join the club.
Oh, hey, if you want to listen, that's totally fine. We love and accept you.
Definitely love.
We appreciate you for your support. Okay.
Somebody said they wanted to talk about healthy boundaries.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to the next one. Let me make sure this one's muted. There we go. All right. So for our next caller, that ends in 6507. You are on the line. Can you hear us? Oh boy, it sounds like you're breaking up.
Somebody say, do we experience an electric shock of energy when we close to each other? Chris and I literally shock each other.
Actually, yeah, we do. Oh, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful,
all right.
beautiful.
How are you doing?
Oh my gosh, I got on the call in time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was late. I was studying.
Oh.
I'm seriously sitting here thinking, I can't believe I'm talking to them right now.
Oh.
I love you guys too.
Sending so much love.
My
to
name's
you.
Natasha. I'm in Athens, Georgia right now.
Awesome.
Okay, that's
And,
nice.
right next door.
Yeah.
I just first want to say I'm so blessed by you guys
Oh.
because this journey is like honestly one of the scariest, most horrible things I've ever been through in my life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
And
we understand.
it's beautiful at the same time because I'm learning how to love myself, but I'm just honestly learning that myself matters, which is maybe why my twin flame journey is. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like the person is my twin flame. I've already met him, but because he told me he said something to me one time. He said you have to know yourself before you get in a relationship, and I realized I didn't. That I feel like I ruined it, and I don't even know. Sometimes I'm like, God, I feel like I know this is my twin flame, but I really don't. And sometimes I'm like, I just wish I could just erase all these thoughts and feelings and even knowing him from my head because it's tearing me down. But you guys help me to understand that there's something I'm going through and it's positive. But I'm just going to let y'all speak to that because I don't know that I really have a question. I didn't even know I was going to get to talk to you guys because I got on late, but I'm starting to get emotional. So
It's okay,
I'm going to stop.
It is okay.
Hey, but believe me, that
You guys are so beautiful, and I'm so happy for you.
Oh.
When I see you guys on there, I'm just like, if that ever happens to me, that is going to be like the blessing of my life from all the things I've been through.
Oh,
All right, no, I'm sorry. I'm now
cry. You know
sorry.
I'm an empath.
but you know what, Natasha, that's something that even I thought about. What was it, last month? Like if I had known what I was doing from the beginning, like I wouldn't have been in any relationships because I truly didn't know myself. I didn't know myself until 2 years ago. I mean,
Okay, get it.
And it's a bittersweet type thing because when you sit back and you look at it, it's like the pieces come together once you go through everything. Like everything makes sense. Because there are some things that have been going on in our lives personally that in the beginning we were like, what the hell is going on? Why are we experiencing this? Did we piss somebody off? But but once we go through those experiences and we stay strong through that time of hardship, time of confusion, if we're able to endure it and get past the fear, which is false evidence appearing real, once we get to the other side, we can sit back and see that's why that happened.
I'm telling you, some of them are so detailed. Like, oh, okay, so this is why I had to do this, and then, oh, okay, I see. And
Right.
this is why I have to work here with these horrible people. Oh, okay, I get it now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is why I had to be in this relationship with this person because they had this to teach me. Oh, okay. But you have
Right.
it's like something that you have to go through so that you can look back because while you're going through something, you're not really seeing the situation in its entirety. But once you come through it and you're standing at the door, you can look back and you'll see the entire picture and then everything makes sense.
Hmm.
And these are little
I got it.
pieces of the puzzle that you can use to move forward. So, it's like tools that you're collecting along your journey that you're going to need in your happy times to keep it happy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really felt happy in so long.
It's okay.
I actually feel bad. The other day, my son was trying to cheer me up. I think he just realized I was just so stressed. Like you mentioned just now about going through things you don't understand, and me and my kids are living with a family member right now. I'm a veteran. It's like, just trying to get my life back together. And I feel like I'm never going to get my life back together. Some days I'm like, God, this is not working. I don't even know why you still have me here. It's not getting better.
Yeah.
My son, he's always upbeat and positive, and I used to be that way. And he's like, trying to cheer me up. And I was like, I'm so sorry, Jacob. I can't access this phone right now. And I just felt bad telling my 13-year-old dad, when he's trying to be the grown-up and I'm the parent. But it's like this journey, I felt like the journey was tearing me down because I'm like, I felt like I could be stronger if it wasn't that I felt like sometimes I just feel like I'm missing like that whole twin flame thing, like you're missing half of yourself. Like I've been in relationships before, but I never knew that you could feel like you were missing a half of yourself. And that some days I feel like I'm strong and I'll be walking down the hallway and then I just have to lean on the wall because I'm like, God, why would you have me here and not be here with me?
That is a lot to go through, and especially, with the son. But you're blessed because you have a son, and his name is Jacob, and that is a beautiful, beautiful name. As a matter of fact, when you have your Kundalini awakening, it's called climbing Jacob's ladder. That's what it's called when you're going up Jacob's ladder. You're climbing. So just having your son, with that name Jacob is very significant for you.
Yes.
And having him be such a strong person, I mean, he came from you. So if he has the strength, it's stemming from you also, which is a beautiful thing. So that is a blessing right there. When you have somebody, your son can be that strong for you, even though sometimes you don't really have, because I've been there myself when my kids are trying to cheer me up and it's not even working. And I feel bad because it's like, oh my God, they're really trying with their little hearts, but it's not working.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they're trying, like you can look at it as such a blessing.
Yes.
Right.
And one thing when I was in my depressed mode, this was way before I was with Leisha, kind of midway to the end of my marriage. I would have random people say, because I would listen to a lot of motivational stuff like Eric Thomas, E.T., and a lot of them would say that happiness is a choice. But I was like, that's real messed up for y'all to say. Y'all are happy. How can like how can you tell
happy people?
Like how can you tell somebody it's a choice? Like you give me all this BS.
Right.
But
Take your happy self over there.
but
Right.
But it took me going through that whole experience to understand that they are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Happiness is a choice.
Yeah.
Freedom is a choice.
True.
Yeah.
And once you make your mind up to be happy, there is nothing that can take it away. Because there are so many days that we have the question like, what the hell are we doing?
Right.
But even when I'm having that question, what the hell am I doing? I still have this bliss that is going on inside of me. And it helps to keep me going because I remember that I choose.
Yeah.
Because when you start to raise up in levels and you go through your ascensions, going from 3D to 5D to wherever you're going, you understand that. I just lost my train of thought.
An inner stand. It's more of an inner standing.
Yeah.
More of like a once you start, because what you're doing now, I'm going to tell you what you're doing now. You're shedding. It's called shedding. So you're going through a process where you're doing a lot of shedding. Sometimes, and it sounds like you're grieving too. Grieving, it has physical implications on the body. And are you grieving your twin?
I am,
Yeah.
and mostly because I mean I went through a lot of like I've been through sexual trauma too. And
Yeah. There you go. I know. I know what I've done. I've been here where you at right now. I had to go through this, and it's not an easy thing to come out of because some of these situations is like you actually got to kind of relive them again in order for you to like put it to peace and put it to rest. And sometimes it takes a different type of strength. Like you really have to look for that different type of strength.
Yes.
To like lift you up out of it, because it could feel like it's like a drowning thing sometimes.
Yep.
But you just have to look deep within yourself and find that strength and come out of it. But you come out of it.
Yeah.
You will. You're strong and you have support around you. So at least you don't have to do it by yourself, even though it feels like you're by yourself sometimes, but you're not.
Yeah. And
right.
whenever you have a chance, and this is for everybody, if you're going through stuff and you feel like you don't have anybody else to talk to, y'all can always email us.
Send us an email.
Send us an email. Hit us up on Instagram. We've had quite a few people just call us out of the blue on Instagram. I was like, what the hell? Okay, I'm here. Yeah. What do you need?
I'm sure they appreciate it.
because we know this journey is not easy.
It's not.
And even though a lot of people are waking up, a lot of people are not waking up together. They're They're scattered all over the world. So if y'all are ever in a situation, y'all can email us. If you can keep it short, we greatly appreciate it. Yeah. But if you have to write it out,
sometimes hey, every situation is different.
Yeah, but if you got to write it out, write it out. But we are definitely here for you. We're here for everybody else that needs that assurance.
Yeah, and maybe sometimes people just want somebody to listen to them, just somebody to talk to, because with this twin flame journey, it's not something you can go and just talk to anybody about because they're not going to understand. They're not going to get it.
For sure, that's true.
And that's one of the things that make it so frustrating.
Well, I appreciate you guys so much, and I'm so glad I got to talk to you guys. You're such a blessing, and really, I mean, even like I'm kind of in isolation right now. You like friends, which is probably not a good thing. I hear you talking, Alicia, about not being in isolation and and stuff like that. But I really appreciate you guys educating us and supporting us, and it's such a blessing. So I pray y'all just always be blessed too. So I know you will be.
Thank you. But always remember, it's a difference between being alone and being in isolation. So you can be alone. Sometimes you need to be alone. Alone is when you're by yourself. You really shedding. You really getting to know yourself. That's alone. Isolation is when you shut everybody out and shut everything out. So
try not to.
You can be alone, but just try not to be too isolated.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, y'all take care. Thank you so much for everything.
Welcome.
I'm keep watching. I appreciate y'all so much.
No worries.
You're so welcome. All right. You have a good night.
You too. Y'all too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Awesome. Oh, you want to see? You can just go over here, babe. We ain't got to go through that. We high tech now. You ain't gotta go through that.
He's a techie one.
But before we go into the next caller, because I know that there was a question that was on here. We already answered the question about the energy shop.
Oh yeah, Chris and I. That's a regular.
Let's see, advice about. This was the question. Some advice about the awkward stage when coming back into union and releasing all the 3D illusions. What is that like for you? You don't see the world the same way anymore.
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, because we.
Today,
Okay.
tell them about today when we was looking at the water.
We're gonna keep this short, then we're gonna get right to the next caller.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was we were sitting at the lake today for lunch, and we were just watching the ripples on the water just roll by, and I was thinking like, wow, what's making the sparkle on the water? And Alicia was like, well, it's just the sun reflecting on the water. I was like,
it sounds so good. I was sounding so intelligent, like, yeah. Reflection.
Yeah. And so we was like, okay, so I buy that. But as we were talking about it, the reflection started to slowly go away. I was like, I looked up, like, ain't no clouds in the sky. And I was
looked
like
little stars. Like, you know when you look up in the sky and it's twinkling under the dark night? But it was twinkling in the water.
Yeah. And then, so they went away. And then for a few minutes, like, Alicia was like, what the hell? And so for me, when I see the twinkling in the water, just like Alicia was saying, it's like seeing a twinkle in the stars.
Yeah.
And for those of you all who know that we are made of stars.
Stardust, as above, so below.
And so that took us into a whole nother conversation. And as we started to unveil that, they came back.
They came right back. Right after that, twinkle,
and then
it's just all twinkly, twinkly, twinkly on the water.
And then we just noticed that it's coming in waves, and it made us think about first wavers, second wavers. If y'all know about that, you know, the people who came in to really help uplift this world, which we consider ourselves like third wavers or something of that nature. But yeah, we don't see the world the same way anymore.
So woke, you need a nap.
All right. So we're going to jump right into the next caller. We appreciate you for holding. Caller ending in 6822. Are you there?
Yeah, you guys.
Awesome. We got appreciate our men calling in.
I love you guys. You're awesome.
Oh, I love you too. Much love.
Thank you so much. And what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is James. I'm calling from Phoenix.
Arizona.
I went through my I separated from my twin flame, and she ghosted me in September of 2017. I went through my spiritual awakening in December of 2017. And I'm just wondering, she had a lot of toxic family members on her side. And does that and she just like, I would point it out to her, and she was just like in denial. And it was just like so obvious to me. And a lot of narcissistic family members. And she had 2 kids. One of them was a teenager, and the daughter I always had this sense that she was talking shit behind my back, you know, and I never caught her, but and when we lived together, she was like always on her best behavior, but like when my back was turned, she was always bad mouthing her mom. And her mom was a people pleaser, and wonderful woman, but she didn't love herself. And you know, I try to teach her along, but you know, you can't force someone to love themselves. They have to do it on their own. And I'm just wondering, do these type of relationships with family members just fall naturally? I mean, before the runner comes back to union.
Well, it sounds to me like she has a lot of lessons here that she needs to learn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is.
Well, I just found out she just left her karmic.
Ah, so she's.
You know, we haven't spoken in 18 months. I refuse to even reach out to her because I have more respect for myself.
Yes, and you need to
keep even get involved in that freaking drama.
Yeah,
and she's got to learn it the hard way, and she's got to learn through pain. I did that when I was 20. Now I'm 46. I have no issue.
Yeah,
I want to learn the hard way.
Yeah, we have to go through it, and she has to learn, and it sounds like she's learning because she's no
Oh yeah,
longer in that abusive relationship. So it's just a matter of time of having that patience and allowing her to grow and allowing her to learn on her own, and eventually,
yeah.
she will reach out to you. It will be like a pulling inside of her. If that's your true twin, it will be a pulling inside of her to reach out to you once she starts healing. So you won't necessarily need to reach out to her. I mean, unless you're guided to. Like, you always want to follow your intuition, no matter what anybody
Right.
says. If your intuition is telling you something different, then you go with your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a dream the other night where she actually came to my door and begged for forgiveness and looked at me like I was Jesus or something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what, that actually ties into what we spoke about I think 2 callers ago, is that recently with the shifts in the energy, especially with this last full moon that just went through.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of upgrades that are going on, and the upgrades are happening in higher dimensions. And what's going on is that you're seeing a preview. Now, it may not be exactly that, but you're seeing a preview.
Sure, yeah.
You're seeing a preview of things to come.
Yep.
So that's to give you assurance to keep working on what you're doing, keep working on yourself, keep loving yourself. Because what that does for every twin flame that's out there, when you heal yourself, you heal your twin.
Yeah.
It's healing, and not only your twin,
But
it's
the
actually
collective. The collective.
Okay, you all in my head.
Well, you're really healing yourself because they're part of yourself.
Yeah,
exactly. So you just have to keep, and obviously you've been doing work.
Yes.
Because
Oh yeah,
it's
I'm done.
showing.
I've been done for a long time, but I'm still working every day, and we all do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's showing because
It never stops.
it would never. I don't
doesn't
think.
stop, because you know what's funny about that just brought to mind. Like Leisha and I recently did aura sessions where we did some past life regressions.
Oh my goodness.
And
so good.
when Leisha did her session, her higher self said that she was just starting. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I know.
Like,
I'm
we've been doing this for years. Like, what the hell?
I'm doing so much work. What do you mean I'm just starting?
But it never gets boring.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah.
It does not.
If you're not growing, you're dying.
Exactly. And that's why I embrace all these experiences. And I just said that. Didn't I just say that today?
Yeah.
I said something along that lines with, if you're not really having these experiences allow you to know that, hey, I'm alive,
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually what pain is. Pain is a reminder to let you know that you are living.
Yeah.
If you're not experiencing
Yeah.
pain,
you're over there in the underworld with what's their name? Anubis and and the other ones. So yeah, these experiences are just here for us to grow and learn and have different experiences. So
yes,
that's really all.
So like, I would never want to ask her to give up her family members, even though that's what she needs to do. Is that something that she will do before she even comes back to me?
Now, you know what, and I'm gonna say this because it's just my intuition that's going through this. When you think about soul plans, everybody has a soul plan, a soul path that they take, and through that path, they pick certain people to play roles. And she has those family members in her life to play a role to help her learn a lesson. Now it's up to her to learn the lesson, because once she learns it, then she'll be able to detach herself from that situation, or really set those strong boundaries to let them know that I'm not going to accept that type of behavior.
Exactly. And
So
that could be her lesson right there. It's learning how to set
boundaries. It's lesson number 1. Go grow some balls.
Yeah.
Karmic lesson 1.
There you go. Grow a backbone.
Yeah.
And that might be a lesson that she needs to learn. That might be something that her family member, maybe that's something they need to see.
Yeah. And you're so right.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And you are so right. That is the first lesson, to learn how to grow a backbone.
Yes. And everything else will fall.
Because how can I have someone try to protect me if they can't even protect themselves?
Exactly.
You just lift your hands up and I lift my hands
We did it
up.
together.
But yeah, that is so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, James,
I love you guys. I want you guys to have an awesome night, and thanks for the time and many blessings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
you guys are amazing.
Keep the faith. You know, everything would go in the way it's supposed to go. You just keep the faith. Keep doing what you're doing. Follow your intuition. I always tell everyone, follow your intuition. It would never steer you wrong.
No, it will not.
Thank you for confirming what I already felt.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, sometimes that's all we need is a
You guys are
all
beautiful.
we need. Yep.
All right, James, you have a wonderful evening.
You guys too.
All right, much love.
The Felicia was just a joke.
Oh, I figured.
Because Chris said it in one video to you.
Yeah, he did.
I did. That was like one of the first ones. That was
Like, bye, Felicia. Okay, have a good night.
All right, have a good one. Oh boy. All right. Now we are getting close to our hour of. Well, we actually passed that hour, so we're gonna go ahead and
realize that.
We're gonna go ahead and jump into these next 3 callers. So caller ending. Hold on, I think I just muted you. Caller ending in 8344. Are you there? Caller 8344.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm wonderful.
All
How are
right.
you too?
We're doing fantastic this evening.
Fantabulous.
And what's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Key, and I'm calling from South Florida, Boca Raton.
Oh, Florida.
Okay. All our Floridians.
You know we love Florida. We biased.
Yes. Yeah, we plan on being back in Florida very soon. Yeah. So how can we help you out?
Okay, I didn't ponder too long on how to ask some questions, so just be a little patient with me.
Take your time.
Hey, you were patient with us. We'll be patient with you.
Okay. So I'm interested to know, it's basically like an individual question for the both of you, so like on your separate sides. Before you two came into union, would you say that you had like signs that you two were coming to each other? Like universal signs that you were coming to each other?
I know I did.
To be honest, I was clueless as to what was coming.
Yeah.
Because I was really in my bubble. I pretty much perfected that.
Yeah.
So,
He has a really nice bubble, and it was a space that nobody else could come into but him.
So as far as anything that was coming my way, I wasn't aware of it. I was really just focused on creating the world that I wanted for myself. But Felicia, I'm gonna let you answer that.
Well, yeah, I kind of well, I didn't even know what twin flames were, to be honest with you. I had just started on my spiritual journey of waking up, and I met Chris at work. And the first day that I seen Chris, he didn't see me. I saw him first. I was sitting at my desk, and he was new. And when I looked up, I was like, wait a minute, he looks so familiar. I'm like, I know him from someplace. And I just couldn't quite figure out where I knew him from. And I kept looking at him, and one of the coworkers she was like, stop looking at him, he's married. I'm like, well, damn, I was just trying to see if I know him from someplace. I wasn't trying to talk to him. And then I saw, she started giving him hugs. I'm like, well, how's she giving him hugs when he's married? But anyway, we somehow, we ended up sitting right next to each other. I mean, like, he was here and I was there. So we literally fit like this. And I'm like, well, this is uncomfortable. And one day I didn't have my car anymore, and somebody stole my car at work, so I needed somebody to take me to work, and Chris offered to take me to work, and that's really how we really started like talking and stuff. But it was still like really, because Chris was very reserved. He didn't talk to anybody at all. Like, he was very quiet. So I was probably the only person that he talked to at the job, besides maybe his supervisor or somebody. He didn't talk to anyone. No. Like, it were times when he would put the headphones in his ear and pretend he's listening to music. But I'm like, I know you're not listening to any music over there, Chris.
Sometimes I was. Sometimes I was listening to
Sometimes,
music.
most of the time, he was not listening to no music, but he was very, standoffish.
Yeah.
But then we started talking, and then that's when I started picking up stuff from him. And it was weird because I didn't know how I would know this information. I just did. And that's when I started feeling really weird. Because it's like, he's married, and I don't want to be, I'm not that type to be disrespectful. So I'm like, these feelings are really strange, and I don't know what this is. And so one morning, he was supposed to actually pick me up. He didn't call, he didn't show, and I'm stranded, and I'm like, wait a minute, where is Chris? And I'm getting the feeling like something is, maybe he was feeling what I was feeling, I don't know, but it just started getting really uncomfortable. And so I put in for a transfer, and I moved, and I went to a different department because I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to live my life like this.
Yeah. Because actually at that time, like my ex-wife at that point, like she thought that I was trying to do something with Alicia. I'm like, no, I'm just taking her to work and taking her home. Like, I ain't doing nothing. That's it. He was just
taking me to work. And that's it. But it was just a very weird kinetic feeling, and I just couldn't explain what it was. And I knew stuff about him, and I didn't know how I knew it. And he actually confirmed everything after we got together, which was like a year after.
Yeah.
And I would tell my coworkers stuff, and I'd be like, well, this is happening to him, and this is happening to him. And she's like, Alicia, mind your business. How do you know these things? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I just know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say, looking back, one of the signs that would have, if we had known about twin flames at the time, that would have been an indication for us, is having that connection of knowing what's going on with each other. Because to some degree, I felt like Alicia was going through some things, but I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. But I knew that life was tough for her.
Yep.
And I don't know why I felt that as well. So.
And you didn't even help anybody. Like, you really did offer to help me. I was shocked. I was like, oh, he said yes. Okay.
Yeah. So that there's and it's like something I said before when we had our video about how we met. And I said that when Lisha told me that she had a crush on me, and then I came back and I said that I don't know what this feeling is, but I want to explore it, because the feeling, it wasn't anything sexual. It had nothing to do with sex.
Was different.
It had nothing to do with status. It had nothing to do with looks. It was just a pulling and a knowing that was attracting me to her.
And he used to run for my church hugs. That's what you call it.
Well, no, you didn't give church hugs.
Oh yeah, no. You said I didn't give church hugs.
You didn't. Like she would give full on embrace hugs, like chest to chest, like.
Because I'm authentic. I'm not fake. If I'm gonna hug you, I'm gonna embrace you.
Yeah. And that was actually something that I liked. About you, because and I guess that was the part that helped me connect with you more often, because there was that, even when we weren't even talking, like, you would hug me like that. I was like, nobody hugs like that. You know? Everybody does a little church hug, a little side. How you doing, sister?
Not me.
You know? But yeah, so that, if that was any type of sign, just having the ability to know what's going on with somebody without knowing, which can be confusing because a lot of people are empaths and they don't even know it.
Right.
Yeah.
So they pick up on people's energy. But this is one thing that I would say to pay attention to. Excuse me, we live, so excuse me. So this is one thing you can pay attention to, because what one does, it really affects the other one. So if you're doing your work, you know, you're healing, you're doing what you're doing, and especially the feminine energy, you should definitely see a difference in your twin.
Yes.
You know, if you guys haven't studied quantum entanglement by Spooky Action from a Distance by Einstein, that will be a really good thing to study so you can understand the dynamics of the whole twin flame theory and how it works. So whatever one does, it kind of affects the other one.
Right.
So and the feminine energy, the majority of the time, is the one that really carries the torch, until the other one is ready. So if you work, you keep doing your work, you keep healing, you keep doing your integration, you should see it. If that's your true twin flame, you will see it reflecting in your twin.
Yep.
Can you say what that was called again? Quantum.
Quantum entanglement.
I would try to spell it for you, but I'm.
No, I got it.
Don't listen to Chris. He just.
But spooky action from a distance.
There you go. That's gonna pull it up. Einstein explained it really good because he was confused about it too. He didn't quite understand what it was. That's why he called it spooky action from a distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
I will
our
write
twin
that
flames.
down.
All right. So did that answer your question?
Yes, it actually did. It gave me some insight because I am currently not technically in union with my twin flame, but it's just so much signs I feel like, and just synchronicities and things like that have been popping up. That just the topic of twin flame itself has just been popping up in my life again, and I just found it really interesting. Like right now, it's 10:10. Like that's special to me, you know.
Me too. That's our time. 10:10.
It's 9:10. So yeah, it's 10:10
Yeah,
where you
10:10.
are.
We see it almost every day now. 10:10. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I want to ask you this question just to see if I'm not tripping.
No, you're not tripping. No.
Yeah.
You're not. You're
I was
just
very
awake.
convinced that he was my twin flame, but I feel sure now that he was a karmic relationship, and I did learn a lot from that relationship,
There
and
you go.
I feel like I've accelerated since that one, but I was like, he's not what I feel is coming. So yeah.
Pay attention to your intuition, and I tell this to every person, because if I had paid, when I started paying attention to my intuition, when I really stopped taking my intuition as a joke, one day I was going to work, and I had called Chris on the phone. You remember that day, right?
Yeah, with the car.
With the car, and I was about to turn to go on the highway, which is a quick way that would make me get to work quicker. And something said, take the long way. And the voice was so loud, and I looked around, and I'm like, oh, wow, am I really losing it? Like, who said that? And so then I said, okay, but if I take the long way, and I'm going back and forth with myself, I'm like, if I take the long way, I'm going to be late for work. And it said again, take the long way. So I'm like, okay, let me just because, okay? I'm just doing this just because. So I took the long way. How about when as soon as I turned off to take the long way, this car came in it's like they were trying to turn, and they turned all the way in, and they went in on the highway by accident. So if I had kept going, I would have ran right into that car.
Wow.
So from that day forth, I started taking my intuition very seriously. And I actually did it for a week, just to practice on it. And I noticed a difference in my life. As far as making decisions, I literally noticed a difference and then it started to get louder and louder and more accurate. So always, the more you pay attention to it, the more accurate it's going to get.
Yep.
Okay, that's very true. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, Kate. Well, we love you. We thank you so much for calling in.
Yes, thank you. I love you too. I send you blessings and light and love, and stay great.
You too. Much love to you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right. So we got 2 more callers.
Uno, deuce. Uno,
Two
deuce.
more. And so for our caller ending in 7522, you are on the line. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome.
I just want to say that I love you guys, and I think that you guys are very uplifting.
Yes,
thank you. Love you. Much love to you.
Yes, and what's your name and where you calling from?
Okay, my name is Dama, and I'm from Northwest Ohio.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh,
and I had
Ohio
a
in the
question
house.
is because...
Go
What
ahead.
did you say? I can't hear you.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying Ohio in the
Okay.
house.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't like being up here, especially when it's cold, but
Oh yeah, it is cold.
but it's okay. But I had a question is because I keep having I've had several visions of I believe this is my twin flame, but I cannot see his face. But I can it's like a surreal experience. So I was like, okay, I had this one vision that I could see him but not see his face. And then this voice came like Thomas. Like I've had synchronicities like 123, 222, and I know all about that. I've never had a name like pop up in a dream, and then after a couple days afterwards, I see it everywhere. And I'm like, am I crazy or is this different?
And actually, to be honest with you, and this was probably confirmation for me. Before I got with Leisha, I would occasionally, probably every so often, like every couple of months, I would have this dream of getting married on the beach, right?
You want to tell the story?
And like I would always see my bride from the back. I would see her white dress. She had a veil on, and we were walking out to the beach, but I could never see her face. And you know, since I've been with Leisha, I haven't had that dream anymore. And you know, those are just.
And tell her when you asked me about where I see myself getting married. What I said.
Yeah, what? Probably like our third, fourth month.
You asked me that question. Over
Yeah,
the phone.
yeah. I asked you like, where do you want to get married, or like, where would you envision your perfect wedding?
And what I said.
You said on the beach.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, like when I sense his presence, it's like I feel like at home. Like it just, it's just like where I'm at home.
That's it.
I just can't see him.
At home.
Yeah,
That's
is
the word.
Yeah, because that's your twin.
Yeah,
I don't normally say that, but for people to be able to
say the same word,
say that because when you think about it, home is not something that gets you sexually aroused. It's not something that.
No, this was nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's your
I've
safe
never
place.
experienced it before in my life.
Yes, and it's like a safe place. Like it's okay. Because we used to go to therapy, and you know, when we first started out to make sure everything's okay, like we took a lot of steps. And the therapist asked him. She was like, "How does Leisha make you feel?" And he said, "She makes me feel at home." And she was so worried. She went home and she studied it. She's like, I don't know. I got to write this down. What do you mean at home? So, yeah.
Right? Yeah, but that's the only way that I can describe it. I've never met him in the physical realm. But I can sense him. And every so often, I have visions. And like I said this recently about this name, it's just like, I don't be looking for it. It just pops up. Like today, I called somebody, and the name is Thomas. And she's like, well, let me send you over to my supervisor. I was like, okay. And her name, I got her voicemail, and her name was Mrs. Thomas. You know, stuff like that, like weird synchronicities. And I've never had that happen before.
It sounds like, I don't really say this either, but it sounds like that could very, very, like, I'm almost sure like Lysol, 99.9%. Like, I feel like, that definitely could be a twin, because that's the same type of thing Chris and I experienced. Like, the day when I went to New York, the day when I was coming back from New York, it was a 15-hour drive from New York to Alabama, right? 15 hours. And I saw three. I seen so many threes coming back from New York to Alabama. I had to ask my son. I was like, listen, I think I'm losing it.
Yeah, because like the other night, I had a dream that it was 000.
Ooh,
like,
wow.
Yeah, so we're much getting close to union then.
Yeah.
It has.
Because I found
Yeah,
out
because I
that
was like,
three was Chris's
I thought I was
number.
going crazy.
Yeah, because yeah, threes are the major numbers in my natal chart.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just threes everywhere in my natal chart.
Yep. And I
Well, I'm a
found out.
Pisces, and my birth date is 2/2/2.
Shut the front door and open up the window.
Pisces in the building.
She's
We just had the moon was in Libra, but
Libra. That is, oh my goodness, Chris is a Pisces.
yes.
Yeah,
Pisces.
so I'm like, yeah, it's just, and then I did my release thing ritual this full moon when,
Nice.
like the 21st,
Nice.
and I released a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So I've been constantly working on myself,
I love it.
you know.
This is like music to my soul. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I love it.
Oh.
Yes.
That was the questions that I wanted to ask, and I just want to let you guys know that I love y'all, and I love your guys'
too.
little your like cartoon thing.
The
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
It's coming. Hopefully we'll have everything done by tomorrow morning so that we can premiere it tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's going to be hilarious. You guys are going to love this one. It's hilarious.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Much love to you.
Well, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
all right.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now, it looks like we had one other person that jumped on, so we're going to try to get through these last two people. So we got one caller that's ending 2261. Can you hear us?
Hi. Yes,
Hey.
I'm unmuted. Yay.
Hi.
Thank you so much for waiting. You've been on here for a minute.
Welcome.
I have, and it's funny because I was in my car on my Bluetooth, and I was pressing the source button trying to have my son, because I picked him up from daycare, have him listen to the radio, and it disconnected you guys, so I had to call back.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad you called back.
Yes.
Yes, we are too.
And what's your
But
name?
you
and where
got
you
to me,
calling from?
so I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys for staying on longer.
Yes.
And what's your name and where you calling from?
Oh, yes. My name is Felicia. I'm calling from Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, y'all never heard of my hometown. It's okay, though. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm probably sure you haven't heard of where I was born either, so we even, Stephen.
All right, now.
So what's going on?
Okay. So what is going on is I have actually gone through my false twin, and I'm actually in union with my true twin right now.
Awesome.
That's beautiful.
Yes, it is definitely a blessing. One thing that I am kind of running into an issue with is the fact that the family members closest to me who think they know me the best are like, oh, well, I don't think he's the one. I don't like you when you're with him. I don't like your personality. And it's kind of a shock because I feel like I'm the best person when I'm with him. And, you know, he makes me better in so many other ways. It's just kind of, I don't know, like when your mom tells you, oh, no, he's not the one, you kind of want to listen to your mom, but at the same time, it's like, you have no idea what's going down right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay. I'm kind of just, I don't know.
Well, Chris has this experience, so he'll help with this part. He's had this situation happen to him before.
You know, family, they're a blessing and a curse. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day,
when all is said and done and more is said than done,
you are creating your own world. They don't have to live in your world. Because I don't want to say you alienate your family because they're your family.
No.
But you choose how you want to live your life. And if you are experiencing bliss and if you are growing if you're not just in the same place, if you're growing spiritually, then that's what you continue to do, because you have to understand not everybody's going to be on your level.
Exactly.
And it's okay for them to not be on the same level, but just because they're not on the same level with you doesn't mean that you have to stay on that level with them. You continue to ascend, and you continue to be that lighthouse to show them that, hey, the way that you're living is cool if you want to stay that way, but there is a better way of living.
Right.
So that's
true. That is so true.
And it's just about setting healthy boundaries. And somebody wanted us to talk about healthy boundaries earlier.
That was me, actually. Yes, that was me.
Wow.
You see, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Listen, this thing that I have is getting worse. I don't even know what to do with it anymore.
It's getting better.
It's getting better. I'm sorry.
It's
Let me
more
change my
intuitive.
words. Like I've been, I don't know what's going on, but I've been like super in tune, and like I'm even answering questions, and then the questions come after I answer it. Like just having regular conversations with people, and now it's making me a little bit like not nervous, but just feeling weird.
Yeah.
Anyhow, setting boundaries. So yes, I had to learn how to set boundaries. Chris had to learn how to set healthy boundaries.
Yes.
And setting boundaries go hand in hand with loving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like head and tail of the same coin.
Yeah.
So once you start loving yourself and you start respecting yourself, then you're going to start treating yourself a certain way. And so you're showing these people around you, your parents, you know, your uncles, your aunts, whoever it is, that you're happy. However, you have boundaries, and they're healthy boundaries, meaning, listen, I love you and I love you, but guess what? I love me too.
Yeah.
And so I'm not doing anything to harm anyone, you know, but this is the lifestyle that I choose to live. And if you would like to be a part of my world, I welcome you. You know, I welcome you into my world with love, you know, unconditional love. However, I expect you to respect whatever you decide to say and respect whoever you decide to let them respect.
Right.
And that's setting healthy boundaries, with just, you know, doing it with love and compassion, you know, with a genuineness to let them know this is what I'm doing.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And just,
I definitely do like that.
Yeah, and just also understand that twin flames are here for so many reasons.
A lot of changes.
But one of the main reasons is to show a new dynamic of what a relationship should be.
Right.
And that's why we get so humbled when we see when people come in about our relationship and how wonderful it is and how they aspire to have.
Yeah.
Like the type of love that Leisha and I have, like it's not the norm.
Right. It's like a friendship. It's weird because I call him every day at 12 in bed. Well, you know, we meet up every day at 12 for lunch, and then I call him every day at 10 and 3.
Yeah.
And it's like he's like my best friend. And and I never had any type of relationship like this where I have somebody that I'm with and they're my best, like literally my best friend.
Right.
And it's definitely a beautiful thing to experience, and I'm really grateful that I was able to experience this in this lifetime. And one of the reasons why I really was pushed to do the YouTube channel is because one day I was like, you know what, I want people to have this. That was the honest like truth as to why I wanted to do this YouTube channel. I wanted people to experience this because I'm like, I need other people with me having this type of experience.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I just want everybody to feel loved, you know, and to know what it feels like, because it's a wonderful freeing feeling to really have somebody that truly loves you. And don't compromise your love for anyone. If you love your twin flame and your twin flame loves you, be happy. And, you know, you will surround yourself with people who are happy just like you. Like, you'll be a vibrational match. And for those who you're not a vibrational match for, it's very unfortunate sometimes, okay? But mom, dad, uncle, sister, if they're not a vibrational match, unfortunately, they will fall off. But hopefully in the future, they might, rise back up and meet you again on your love level.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But always
and
have
then
respect.
I don't know if I get to ask another question.
Yeah.
But I was kind of curious, like, when twin flames come into union and this true union, like, are there forces that would try to just pull you apart, like over the stupidest things?
Yes, ma'am.
Like,
Does the sun?
Yes, ma'am.
Does the sun come up every day? Does
the
moon?
Oh my God!
Does the moon come out every night?
That's what. And see that now. Okay, since the other person hung up, we're gonna go into this because this is something everybody need to know.
Yep.
If y'all want to get with y'all twin flame, because okay. So, all right, let me get myself together because you done got me excited.
Get it. Let me light some sage.
Okay. So when twin flames come together, they're here to uplift the world. There are forces out there that don't want us to uplift the world.
Don't want it.
And they're going to find every nook and cranny to get in to try to stop you from doing that.
Yep.
A perfect example, your family members.
Mm-hmm. They could use them. Agent Smith, jump into their body.
Oh, wow, you in my head.
Ooh, look at that.
because when you
think... say that?
Yeah, because when you think about it, because we're in this matrix. And the matrix wants to keep it together. Mm-hmm. And for the people that are still asleep, they use other people to block the ones that are trying to free people. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have people that come around because, like... Okay.
I don't know if you guys ever seen The Matrix. Have you ever seen The Matrix? How you seen how when Agent Smith was able to go inside of all the other people that were within the Matrix who were not quote-unquote woke. They were just like bodies. So he was able to jump inside of it. So that's the family members, you know, the ones who are not in agreement with what you're doing. They would morph and form into something, you know, so that they can separate what's going on. Because to be honest, the dark ones, they don't want all this lovey stuff. Like, what is this lovey stuff? People actually going to be happy.
Yeah. So you have to prepare for that. Because, of course, you're prepared for a loving relationship, but there's another side to this. Mm-hmm. You also have to prepare yourself for the forces that don't want y'all together. Because twin flames together are very, very powerful.
Very, very powerful.
Like, the vibrations between the two individuals would just permeate everything.
It's like a ripple.
So, not only do you have to prepare for all this love, but you also have to prepare for war.
The hate.
And the war is not... It's funny because, you know, my thing with religion is it's a little bit of love and hate. But one of the things that it says so much is that we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against spirits and principalities and things of that nature, which is very, very true.
And real. It's real. Just because you can't see oxygen, guys, I keep saying this, you cannot see that oxygen that we're breathing. But I bet you if that was cut off for 2 seconds, you know it's not there, won't you?
Yeah.
You try to take, okay, where's my oxygen at? But you can't see it. But that doesn't mean it's not real.
Yeah.
So just because you can't see certain things that's going on, all these little molecules in the atmosphere that you cannot see, these very, very, very small particles, just because you can't see it with your naked eye does not mean that it does not exist, a.k.a. the dark ones.
Yep. So, just... be aware of that, because there will be some ones who don't want to see you shine.
They don't want to see people really. Could you really imagine if everybody on this planet loved each other, right? Could you imagine if it was no more war? Who would they sell their guns to? Could you really imagine this? Imagine a planet where people are really, really loving each other and really helping each other and living together as a community.
Yes.
Could you imagine how this system would fall if everybody really loved each other and got along with each other?
Yes. So beautiful.
They would hate it. And so this is why they have to do their due diligence, they have to do their job, and they have to try to, you know, get people to stay in constant conflict, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Okay. That's true. Y'all just speaking the facts tonight. I mean...
yeah, we got to. Our highest help is making us do this.
Yes.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. Seriously.
Oh, you are so welcome. And it's perfect that you were the last caller because that just brought that out. So yeah.
That's so amazing.
All right. Well, we love you. We thank you so much for calling in.
And for waiting.
This call has gone way longer than we anticipated.
I know.
But it's beautiful. So
very beautiful.
But yeah, I love you guys and I appreciate you too.
Love you.
So I'll let you guys go ahead and wrap up.
All right. Sending you much love. Love.
Yes. All right, y'all. That is it.
That sums it up.
That's it. We love y'all.
We love you guys so much.
We almost going into 2 hours on this
thing. It doesn't even feel that long. It's almost like we did a timeline jump.
It don't.
But if you guys like the video, give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. Y'all want to send donations, anything like that, send them through PayPal.
Yes, we love you
Cash
guys.
App, whatever.
Yes.
But we will be doing this every Friday. Mm-hmm. Friday at, what time did we start? We started at 8.
8 o'clock. Yeah. Fridays at 8 o'clock. And we'll try to put out the Twin Flame Chronicles maybe in the week or on Saturday because things get so hectic with Chris and I because we have so much going on.
Yes.
And so we'll definitely try our best to put out the Chronicles. But the other one is definitely coming out tomorrow. Episode 3 is coming out tomorrow. And we'll do the calls every Fridays.
Every Friday. Mm-hmm. So y'all get ready. But we out.
We out this piece. And if you want to book a session with us, go to Third Eye Apparel. If you need any crystals to help protect you in these streets,
T-shirts.
You need T-shirts. If you want to support our business,
ThirdEyeApparel.com.
Because we love you guys.
Yeah.